What's up, people? Welcome back to another episode of Stars and Garters. I'm Katie Pettit, and I deserve some credit for getting this episode done on time. Cause, I don't know. I didn't really want to that much. I mean, I did want to, but I did not know if I was going to be up to it, and I was, so. I've been getting the episodes in on time lately. If you don't count the whole week I missed last week. But, today, Top 10 Tuesday, my favorite day, where I get to make a top 10. So yeah, this top 10, you guys, honestly, I would say be prepared to disagree with me more than you've ever disagreed with me before, and I don't think that's an exaggeration. You'll see why. Okay, so today I am presenting to you my top 10 vocally talented singers. Now, just to throw this out here, I don't believe that I know what real vocal talent is. I think it's different to each person, and nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Like, if you like a voice and someone doesn't, it's fine, and move on, and whatever. This is my top 10 favorite voices of singers to hear, you know? And your list will probably be just so much different. You might not even know who a lot of these people are. It's probably gonna differ quite a lot from your personal opinion, and that's fine, and it doesn't upset me. So we're just gonna roll with it. I'm just telling you about singers that I think are the most pleasing to my ears. So, with that said, with that preface and whatnot, we're gonna dive right on into it. I tried to keep it mostly singers that most people would know. I don't know how well I did with that, but there were a few that aren't as popular, but I think they're just so good that I had to mention them anyway, in my opinion. So, yeah, let's jump into it. At number 10, we have someone who you might not know of because they are not a famous artist, but it's a little someone named Peter Hollins.
My mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field.
Now, he does make music mainly, that's his thing, but he does it mostly, he's mostly like a YouTube kind of guy, I feel like. I don't know if I'm totally right about that. I know he releases all his stuff on Spotify, but like, he seems more like a YouTuber, I feel like. But that all being said, he has a very, very the tone of his voice is very, very nice to hear. He was a classically trained singer, which usually would actually kind of deter me because I don't like classically trained, stuff. I feel like usually they just sound like they're trying too hard to me, just trying to hold out notes for as long as they can and like make it sound super dramatic and whatever. But his voice, even though he was classically trained and stuff, it sounds good in a bunch of different genres. Even though he has his own voice to it, it still sounds good, and the tone is still there, and he doesn't try to make it all sound super, I don't know, however you would say for like someone who is classically trained. He doesn't make it all sound like that, which I greatly appreciate, because I definitely wouldn't like him as much. I probably would still appreciate his voice, but I just wouldn't care for it as much. But he works it to any song he sings, no matter what genre. He works his voice to where it still sounds really nice and like natural and not forced and just really good. He has a great range as well. He doesn't have the most like falsetto range, but he definitely has some. And it's really nice. And he has like, I don't know if this makes sense, but he doesn't look like someone who would have that much of a lower range, and he definitely does. Like, he can sing bass really well. So, yeah, if you don't know who he is, I would consider checking him out. He's very clean as well. Usually, I mean, I haven't seen every single thing he's ever done, but usually he's pretty safe. So I'd say check him out. He does acapella mostly, and it's like usually by himself, which I think is really cool. Some people think it's nerdy, but I think it's impressive. So yeah, I would check him out. All right, moving right on to number 9. Oh, that's funny. I just realized that the bottom 3 of this list are all guys, which is funny because they're still some of my favorite voices. Just I felt bad if I wasn't gonna have any guys, so I was like, I gotta think of some guys to do, and they all ended up on the bottom. But they're still great. I still love them, just not as much as the ladies. So yeah, at number 9, if you are one of the people listening to this podcast, aka probably one of my friends, you most likely are not familiar with this guy, but if you happen to be another person, you might know him because he was famous in the early 2000s, and he's kind of trickled off since then. People still know him, just not as well. But it's at number 9, we have Mr. Jesse McCartney. Yeah, okay, I know. Chill. If you know him, chill, okay? Like, yeah, he's the kid who did Beautiful Soul. And I know that's like, just a silly little love song, and he was a little prepubescent little boy. And I mean, it's a nice song still. I prefer his versions now that he does it. But it's still a nice song. But honestly, his voice is very impressive to me. It has a different tone, just the natural tone of it. I like it. It's not like super. The tone isn't the best thing about it. It's more for me the things he can do with his voice. He has a very good falsetto range. I think. He can do some really nice falsetto stuff, and then he can also riff really well. I think. I love a good riff. I'm a sucker for a good riff, and he has good control of his voice. And he also has like a more powerful voice than you would expect. He kind of it packs a little more punch than I think you would expect from like this kind of boy band type guy. He's not in a boy band anymore, but he's you know what I mean. He like it feels like he should. Like Shawn Mendes, who he's like not in a boy band at all, but like he feels like a boy bander. You know what I mean? That's kind of how Jesse McCartney is, even though he's older now. But like he actually has a really powerful voice when he wants to, and he can do good belts and stuff. And I think that his just vocal talent is very impressive and deserves more recognition. I think, especially if you hear him sing the song "Bleeding Love," which I don't know if you'll know it. It was a really famous song by Leona Lewis, but actually Jesse McCartney wrote it with someone else, but I don't know who the other guy was. So he covers it sometimes, and that I think really showcases his talent. So if you want to go check that out somewhere, it's pretty impressive to me. I enjoy it a lot. Okay, okie dokie. Moving right on along to the next dude. Tell me that you're a youth group kid without telling me you're a youth group kid, because my number 8, that's not right. Yeah, it is. My number 8 is Colton Dixon.
So take it all I've been in, everything I am, you can have it. The only thing that I need is more of you and less of me. Make me who I'm meant to be. All I want, all I need, you're everything. So take it all, I surrender, be my king. Gotta choose more.
Okay, I know. He's the Build-A-Boat guy. So like up until a few months ago, I didn't know he had other songs other than Build-A-Boat. I thought that was his one thing, honestly. I didn't know he did anything else. I thought he just got famous, but he's been around for a minute. There were a bunch of songs that would come on like our CCM station on Pandora, and I'll be like, wait, that's him. He sings that, and it was like a song that I knew, but I never knew who Colton Dixon was. But I've gotten into his stuff a lot lately, and he's another one, even more so than Peter Hollins. The way his voice sounds, just his natural tone, is very enjoyable to me. It's very like different. It sounds young, but like it sounds different from like other young artists you would think. It's not as initially high, I feel like. I don't know how to explain it. It's just very different. He has, yeah, it's just a very nice sound. I don't know, like, particularly if he can do any tricks that I like. I mean, he has, as far as I know, a nice range and stuff like that. I think he's good. He's another good belter. He can sound really powerful when he gets to big notes, especially like the chorus of his song "More of You." I think that's what it's called. That's kind of like, if you don't have the blah, 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 if you don't have the right voice for it, it can get screamy. But he, I think, definitely does, and it sounds really, really good for him. And he can just kind of belt it, and it sounds really strong and not screamy. So, that's one thing that is very appealing to me. But personally, it's much more about his tone for me. It's just, it sounds, it's unique, but it's in a very good way. Like, it doesn't sound, it's not like, oh, that's weird. He sounds weird. It's very nice, and it's like cool. It's really cool sounding. It just sounds cool. So yeah, check out his stuff. I mean, check out all these people's stuff, but like, I think I feel like most of the people watching this know who Golden Dixon is. Build a Boat is a great song though. It's real nice, real fun, and cool. Some good CCM there. A lot of his stuff is really good CCM. I would check him out. His songs. All right. Oh my goodness, I just lost my voice completely for a second there. I'm still kind of tired from being in Austin last week. I lost my mind yesterday morning in class. Like, I just kind of lost all sanity for 2 minutes there. But it's okay. I'm fine. I don't feel tired at all. I'm great. I'm doing good, you guys. Okay, so moving along. Okay, we're at number 7 now. Yep. Cool. Math. Great. Good. Love it. Okay. So I initially would have put these people a lot higher. But the reason I didn't, I kept them kind of low, was because, first of all, I didn't think that many people know who they are. Which I know that's not a good reason. It's like, this is supposed to be about the voices. But then when I did think about it also, there's just, I feel like, a little bit less reason to put them super high. I have a good reason. I'm just saying, a lot of it was because I was like, I don't want to have somebody nobody knows, like, up there in 1, 2, or 3. But at kind of a tie for number, what is this, 7? Number 7, I have Lisa or Lauren Cimarelli. Now,
Sometimes I pray for you and someday maybe you'll see the light. Oh, someday in life you're gonna get what you give, but some things only God can forget. I hope you're somewhere crying.
Now, I know you don't know who these guys are. I'm almost 100% sure. You should definitely check out their stuff. But they're from a band called Cimarelli. It's a very underrated, I feel like, group. They're more famous on YouTube again than just for their music in general. But each of the girls in this group, there's 6 sisters, 5 now. But they all have something really cool about their voice, and they all have really nice, pretty voices. It's just Lisa or Lauren's. I'm gonna interchange them. They're gonna hold this spot together. it's theirs that can do the things that particularly impress me. I'm gonna try to get the clip, but they did a cover of Kesha's song "Praying," and Lisa in that one hits what I believe is called an F6. I don't know that terminology. I don't know anything really technical about music, but it sounds fancy, and it like the when you hear it, like you're like, oh, okay, like okay, so she can do that. Cool. Okay, that's great. Um, and yeah, Lisa is very, very much like a powerhouse. Um, she has an incredible high range. She can go like I mean, I just said she had an F6, so like there's that. Do with that what you will. And she's also another really good riffer. She can follow really complicated riffs, and it just sounds so effortless. Like it never sound like they never get muddled together. You can just hear each note as she goes through it, but it just sounds so smooth. And she's just incredibly talented in that. Um, Lauren is very similar. In that she has an excellent high range, but her tone is very different. Her tone, to me, I think, is like prettier. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's just I personally like her tone better. It's a lot more like airy. I think maybe is the right word. It sounds lighter. It's not as like powerful, but like in a good way. Like it's just lighter and nicer and calmer, and she when she does her high notes, they sound more like whistle notes, because if Lisa is going to go really high, she's going to like belt it out real strong, and then Lauren gets I don't know, it just sounds whistly kind of. I don't know the terminology for any of this, you guys, but yeah, it's just both of these. I love high notes so much. I love it when people just get up there ridiculously high. I'm just a sucker for that, and these girls can kill it with these high notes. Um Everyone in that band is very talented. Again, these are just my personal sweet spot. Just the high notes, just excellent. Okay, so yeah, moving right along. You should definitely check out Similarly. They are very good at covers. Um, yeah, they make a lot of good covers. They do some original music, but I rely on them a lot for covers because they also are very, very clean. Just very rarely will I even like they never say something outright nasty, or like bad words or anything like that. And I've only heard one song where they said something that was just a little iffy. Like, so they're very safe, and I like to listen to popular songs through them. That's how I know popular music, because they'll cover it, and I feel much more safe listening to their stuff. So definitely check them out. Okay. Next up is yeah, I don't know how to preface this. I don't have any preface, but at number 6, we have Miss Demi Lovato. Oops, got the pronouns wrong. Just kidding, I don't care. So yeah, I'm canceled again. Whoopsie. Yeah, she is. I know she's crazy. I know she has Disney kid syndrome. Just like I know all the things about her. But this list is about their voices, and this girl can sing. Like, her song "Heart Attack" is the first thing that comes to mind. Very, very difficult note in there. Note. Why did I pronounce that T so hard? She has a very difficult note in there to sing, and it's very high, and she again does it with so much power. Like it's so strong, and she's able to convey a lot of like emotion in like songs like that without sounding screamy. Like that's one thing. It's definitely hard when you get songs that are like especially Heart Attack is kind of like the music and the way it sounds is very like hypey, and so it's kind of fast and it's kind of loud. And it's really hard not to just start screaming when you get into those higher notes. And I think she does an excellent job of just killing it, making it sound like conveying what the emotion is with her voice, and then also just like getting the notes right and like having it sound very nice. She's another one. She's definitely a powerhouse kind of singer. Um, I think she can go like light and stuff like that though. Like in her song Skyscraper, I think she definitely tries to be more light, at least in the first part of it, and then at the end she goes big and she goes powerful. But I think she has a lot of talent. Again, she can do some riffs that are really nice. Just she has a lot of range. There's not a lot that she can't do with her voice. Very talented. And I think I've heard her sing not in person, but I've seen like videos of her live singing, and she sounds a lot like almost the same as like on her recordings. So that's pretty impressive because I know I would be super disappointed if I wouldn't see an artist and they sounded terrible live, even though they sound great singing on the radio or whatever. So, yeah, I think she is very naturally talented, which makes it even more unfortunate that she's crazy, but oh well, such is humans. Such is Disney Channel stars. Okay, moving along to the last male on our list. Sorry, man, I tried. Um, L, but yeah. At numbers this 5. Yep, this is 5. I don't have them numbered here in front of me, but I think this is 5, and we have kind of a surprising choice for me. I have put a Mr. Hugh Jackman. I know, it's a little weird. I wouldn't have even thought that I would put this on here, but when I was making this list a while ago, thinking of names, I came across the song "Rewrite the Stars," and so that got me thinking about Zac Efron. I think he has a lovely voice as well. All the props to him. And I was thinking about putting him on here, and then I was like, wait a minute, like this is a whole musical, Greatest Showman, and every single artist on this soundtrack kills it. So I remember I was like, oh my goodness, Hugh Jackman, and I thought about it, and he had to go pretty high on the list because that is just it's one of the older people. It's he's the oldest guy I have on this list. And that's not what I usually go for. Like honestly, that's just not my taste. I like, the younger voices. I just like that sound more. That's just, that's just my taste. Um, but his voice just like it's so nice. Like it just I've only heard him sing in musicals, and I think it's like his voice is perfect for that. It has a lot of character to it, if that makes any sense. It sounds so mature. It's like he has a really nice low range, and it's so clear, and it's so smooth. It just sounds nice, and it's like, man, this guy knows what he's doing. Um, and he doesn't necessarily do a bunch of like fancy stuff. It's just so like it's just so nice. It's just like a naturally okay, this voice, he's just a solid singer. Um yeah, everything he just he just like can sing with such ease and like what's the word? Professionality? Professionalness? I don't know the word. Something like that. But yeah, he knows what he's doing. Especially in Greatest Showman because I like that movie, and also like in Les Mis, of course. I don't like that movie as much because it's sad, and I don't like sad things. But I know he kills it. Everyone in Les Mis actually kills it as well, but like he's the lead and he carries it so well because his voice is just so strong and solid. So yeah, just plain old talent going on there. With all Hugh Jackman. Cool. No more males on this list. Sorry. Hey, I put you on there. I gave you a chance. Um, I'm getting super canceled in this episode. Okie dokie. That's fine with me. At numero 4, we have, and this one, just so many conflicted feelings here, but we're talking about the voice. And at number 4, Ariana Grande has a stunning voice. I know she is like one of the worst examples of Disney Kid Syndrome. Just, she is out of her mind. She's crazy. Her songs are so grody most of the time. And she's just a wackadoo. She's nuts. She's out of it. But again, this is just, we're looking at the voices, and she is so gifted, which is like, it makes it even sadder because I'm like, you are so talented, and this is what you're using it for. Great, but yeah, she her range is really good. I don't know that much about her lower range, but her high range is higher than I knew. Like, when I thought, she just had a good, like a solid, like, okay, she can get up there sometimes, but no, like, it's actually very impressive. Like, whistle note impressive. I didn't know that, and when I found out, I was like, oh, okay. Again, it has a very nice kind of um it has a nice she has a nice tone, but it's not for everyone. It's definitely very suited to pop, her tone. And so if that's not your thing at all, then you're probably not gonna be that much of a fan of her. But I really enjoy it. It's nice and cool and smooth. Just very. It always sounds very right for what she's singing. It's like, okay, she's hitting all the notes. She's a really good riffer as well. She can handle notes very well. Get around them, do all kinds of cool things with her voice. Move it around very fluidly, if that even is the thing that is said in the music things. But I don't know how to talk about it super musically accurate. But that is what I'm gonna go with. But yeah, just very, very talented. She can sing most things, and she's gonna be in the Wicked movie. So yeah, that's nice. I she can handle it. I have no doubt that she can handle it. She may be a lunatic, but she has a beautiful voice. I would not recommend any of her music to her. Just, I happen to know what she sounds like from like TV shows and clips of stuff, or like, just, you know. But she is definitely a gifted young lady, and I hope and pray that she gets turned around. So next up, interesting. Now that I think about it, that I have it this high on the list, but like, just, it makes sense to me because I made it. So I feel like it's just not the it's confusing to the people, but it's for me. It's not for the people. So at number 3, already at the podium, by the way. So taking the bronze is a Miss Megan Trainor.
I know you're lying, 'cause your lips are moving. Tell me, do you think I'm dumb? I might be young, but I ain't stupid. Talking round in circles with your tongue. I gave you bass, and you gave me sweet talk, saying I'm your number one. But I know you're lying, 'cause your lips are moving. Baby, don't you know I'm done?
Now, this is an interesting one because um her I feel like when you think of her music and what you would like about her, if you do like her, as a musician, is her lyrics. That's what comes to mind, because she can be very witty. I don't know if she writes her song. I assume she does. because I feel like that is something she would say. But they're very witty, fun, just very, she always says exactly what she's trying to, like, you have no doubt about what she's thinking in these songs, and she does it so fun. She has just the catchiest melodies, all that. But for me, when thinking about her actual voice, it is very impressive. She has a really good, low register. Actually, this is one of the only ones that I know that she can handle a lower register. I don't think she can go super low, but like she she can, her voice can get a lot deeper than some of these other people can, I think, or women. And it still sounds really nice. It is a different tone. I feel like it has a different kind of sound. And but it's still definitely a good one. And her higher range isn't crazy as like some of these other people, but it is very powerful. She puts a lot into it when she does go for those higher notes, and she usually does. Like I think what she likes to do is get it up to that last chorus and then get a nice high riff in there. Is what I've usually seen her do. And when she does that, it's very strong. It's very it's loud, but not in a bad way. You could hear it, and it sounds good and strong and powerful. And she's also a very good riffer. She has a lot of control over her voice, I think, because a lot of her songs you need control, because they're either fast or like strong or whatever it is. Um, but you need to have a lot of control over your voice. I think, no, I feel like to sound actually good on no, you have to have a lot of control there because, um, she is singing in a lot of, and she's singing in the chorus, but it's pretty fast, like the words are close together is what I'm saying. So you have to um be pretty talented to sing that well. And I know this isn't necessarily like part of this list, I don't know, but like she has a really good rap voice. She sounds like every time she raps, she sounds like she's having a good time and I want to listen to her. And she sounds like she knows what she's doing. She has like a very commanding rap voice. She draws attention. And I feel like in a good way. And I don't know if that counts for this list, but yeah, well, I beat it by list. So if I want it to count, guess what? It counts. So yeah. All right, moving along to the silver medal. A singer who for sure a singer who for sure deserves more recognitions than she. Did I say recognitions? Oh my goodness. Alright, bringing it back in. A singer who definitely deserves more recognition than she gets. She is technically, she's a celebrity. Like, she's on the map, but not enough people know what a great voice she has. I think, at least. Maybe they do. Maybe I just don't know things. But anyway, at number 2, we have Tori Kelly. Now, I don't know if she has a particular song that was famous. I can't remember how she even got famous. But I know her for like featuring on a few songs. And I've heard her sing in clips and stuff, and I've just heard her sing a few times. And every time I hear it, it's just like wow. It's very impressive. Not most, but I've seen like quite a few people who consider her to be like the most vocally agile is the word they use, singer, which means that she can do riffs really well. She has so much control over her voice, and she can do just a super tight packed series of notes and just hit them all. It sounds super super smooth, and I love that. Like, again, I'm just a sucker for a good riff, and that's her thing. That's her go-to. She is crazy good at riffing. She's featured on the song "Together" by Freaking Country, and I love that song. And you can definitely see all the little, you know, ad-libs that she gets to do in that last chorus, just all of her talent. She gets to show her higher range, and she does have a good one of those. Hers is more like kind of whistly, I think, lighter, and it sounds really pretty. It's very nice to listen to. And then she does get to just kind of riff, and she doesn't go off as much as she can, for sure, but she can riff like crazy. But yeah, I would, yeah. She also seems like not that much of a nutball. I don't know that much about her, but I don't know if she's not. I mean, for King Country is like a Christian band, and she was featured on one of their songs, but like I don't even know. I don't know about that. I don't know if that even means anything. So, but you know, I would definitely just look up her singing, because it's the riffs are quite impressive, I would say, to me at least. Yeah. Okay. Number one, I think this is going to be the most known artist on this list, but that's not why I put her up here. Um, I'm gonna try not to sound conceited in this, and like you guys, I'm not stuck up at all. I'm like the exact opposite of stuck up, but I'm going to say this to preface why this person is number one. So, the person at number one is at number one because she is the only person I've one of the only people, not the only one of the only artists I've ever heard sing something that I've been like, I can't do that. Like, I physically cannot do that. And that is Miss Mariah Carey. Yeah, classic whistle note, just absolutely dominates whistle notes and high notes. Her higher register is unparalleled. Like, no one comes close. I mean, maybe there's someone out there I don't know about, but there's a reason. Hers is probably the most famous. Just, she can hit the most ridiculous and unfair high notes, just that are, and like, she is why I know whistle notes are called whistle notes, because I'm like, that it almost sounds, it's like ethereal. I don't know if that's the right word. It just sounds, it's crazy. Like, it's just, I'll hear her hit the note and I'll be like, what? How are you not dying? Like, how is your throat not bursted into flames or something? Like, it's crazy. The just how high she can go. I'm so impressed with it. And to like please me especially, she can also do some pretty solid riffs while she's up there in the stratosphere with those notes. She can still control her voice and what it does. And I think that's super impressive. I think there was like a period of her career where she like barely could like sing high anymore, because that's what she did for so long. She basically like destroyed her throat. So there was a period where she like basically couldn't sing anymore because she was just struggling so much, and she like destroyed her throat, like, because she sang so high. But just it's amazing. It's amazing what she could do. There's no one else I've seen that I'm just quite as like, wow, that is insane, and I love it. And just I hear it, and I'm just like so impressed and so pleased by what I hear, and I'm just like, I want to hear more. It sounds so good. It sounds so good. Yeah, number one, Miss Mariah Carey. That is my list, you guys. Maybe I didn't make you guys as mad as I thought I would, but I don't know, because I don't know. I don't know what you thought. I don't think you agreed with a lot of it, but I don't expect you to, because we all have our own opinions, and guess what? That's fine. I don't care if your list is different. Good for you. But this is my podcast, and I'm just sharing my thoughts with you guys. So, yeah, that is gonna be it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to follow, share it, tell your friends to follow. I like followers. It's fun. It's good times. And keep up with the podcast. Keep watching. even if it's on a subject that you don't know that much about. I try to do a good job of explaining stuff, so I mean, I don't know if I do, and I hope I'm still, but I hope I'm still entertaining at least. So stick around, watch the episodes, have a good time. So yeah, leave a comment about your favorite singers, just vocally, your favorite voices of people to hear singing. You know what I mean. But yeah, tell me that and tell me why. Give me lots of details and answer the questions. I put them there for a reason. Don't make all my effort useless. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you on Friday. Very special episode coming up on Friday that I should have posted earlier for sure, but look out for that. See ya.